Why planes are slower today, and it's on purpose. Ever noticed how most things around us keep getting faster? Phones, trains, internet, but not planes. In fact, planes have actually slowed down over the past 50 years. And no, it's not because they can't go faster. It's because they choose not to. Back in 1967, if you flew from New York to Los Angeles, it took about 5 hours and 43 minutes. Today, that same flight takes around 6 hours and 27 minutes. That's almost an hour longer. So, what's going on here? Why are planes slower now? Let's rewind to a time when airlines thought speed was the future. British Airways introduced the Concorde, a commercial supersonic jet that could fly faster than the speed of sound. London to New York in just 3 hours? Wild, right? The Concorde could hit over 1,300 miles per hour. For comparison, sound travels at 767 miles per hour. So this thing was flying way past that. But here's the catch. Going that fast came at a price. A huge price. First off, fuel. The Concorde was a gas guzzler. It burned over twice as much fuel per mile compared to a normal passenger jet. Not to mention, it could only carry around 100 passengers, while traditional planes carry 3 or 4 times that. On top of that, the design was super sleek, but also super cramped. Passengers paid more than $7,500 for a one-way ticket and didn't even get much comfort for it. The biggest issue, though? The sonic boom. Whenever the Concorde broke the sound barrier, it created a massive boom that could be heard on the ground. Not ideal for flying over cities. And here's a detail most people don't know. Planes don't age by years. They age by cycles. A cycle is one takeoff and landing. The average plane lifespan is around 44,000 cycles. So if you fly faster and more frequently, you hit that limit way sooner. More flights equals shorter lifespan equals higher costs. Eventually, the math just didn't work out. The last Concorde flight took place on October 24, 2003, and since then, no commercial airline has operated supersonic planes. So what are airlines doing now? Instead of going faster, they're focused on flying smarter. Most planes today can actually reach speeds of 700 miles per hour, but they don't. They cruise at around 500 to 550 miles per hour. Why? Because that's the sweet spot where they burn the least fuel. Fuel efficiency equals lower costs equals more profit. But it's not just speed that airlines optimize, it's everything, especially pricing. Ever wondered why tickets get more expensive the longer you wait? That's because airlines use a system called dynamic pricing. When you book a flight, you're not just paying for a seat, you're part of an algorithm. Here's how it works. Tickets are secretly split into price groups. The cheapest ones get sold first. Once those are gone, the next batch is a little pricier. Then the final ones are the most expensive. So the earlier you book, the better the deal. They even track data like which days people fly the least. If fewer people book on Tuesdays, guess what? You'll see cheaper flights on Tuesdays. Airlines want you to adjust to their schedule, not the other way around. That's a whole different story. Let's take a British Airways Boeing 777 as an example. It has 224 seats, 122 in economy, 40 in premium economy, 28 in business class, and 14 in first class. You think economy brings in the most cash, right? No. Each economy ticket might be $876, but business class tickets can be over $1,700, and first class even more. So those few passengers up front, they make more money for the airline than the entire economy section. Here's another fun fact. A single economy seat takes up about 3.77 square feet, but a business class seat takes 10.114 square feet. Even though it uses more space, it brings in almost double the revenue per square foot. That's why airlines invest in luxury up front. It pays off big time. Now let's talk about the airline industry itself, especially in India. Despite the country's huge population and growing demand for air travel, India's aviation industry struggles. Fuel prices are rising, the rupee is dropping, and airline companies deal with tons of regulations. Until 2016, a rule said that to fly internationally, an airline had to operate domestically for 5 years and own at least 20 planes. That really held back new players. Even though 100% foreign direct investment, FDI, is allowed, only 49% is permitted if the investor is a foreign airline. That makes it hard to get the capital needed for newer tech or better systems. But things might be changing. Tata recently bought Air India for 18,000 crore. They've also merged it with Vistara, a joint venture with Singapore Airlines. They placed a massive order for 500 new jets from Boeing and Airbus. That's huge.